Hello and welcome to Rise IAS YouTube channel. Myself, Dr. Pradhuti Oja. Today, I will explain one editorial article from the Hindu newspaper. Let's see the topic. The topic is 8th Central Pay Commission, a chance to reform pay commission. It is important for GS Paper 3, Men's Economy. So, the article is very much relevant for this upcoming examination for the UPSC Mains examinations for 2026 as well as for 2027. So let's see, for these articles, we have highlighted certain areas and those areas are highly relevant for the exam purpose only. So please try to stress on those areas. Apart from that, try to read this article once and then provide emphasis on these highlighted portions. We have also provided one UPSC model means model questions. Please attempt that questions and mention in our comment section after reading, going through this article. For this article, we have provided certain parameters. It will help you to answer mains question in the examinations. So what are the areas you need to stress about from these articles? Since these articles are highlighting about the challenges, so we have mentioned, first you need to know the context. We have then mentioned the challenges in the existing compensation framework. Third, that is the global best practices. So from the international best practices, what India can learn, we have also included that. And then lastly, we have mentioned way forward, certain points, and then with it we'll in this article the video discussion with a short conclusions. So let's understand the context. What this article is talking about, that is the 8th Central Pay Commission. The context is, as India recently preparing for the 8th Central Pay Commission discussion, we are centered on salary hikes, fitment factors, as well as the areas. So all these things are buzzing around since India is recently preparing for the 8th Central Pay Commissions. Now, however, a more critical issue, what is the more critical issue is that the whether India's public sector compensation framework remains equitable, transparent and fiscally sustainable or not. Salaries, allowances and pensions shape not only employee welfare, but it also shape public trust in governance and the long-term fiscal healthy of the country. So who loves to be paid well? Therefore, the 8 pay central pay commissions, when it is coming up, when it is India is preparing to, provide this pay hike to us. Therefore, we are also at the same time, we would like to know what are the areas that can be improved. Let's see what are the challenges in this article in the existing compensation framework, that is the existing pay commissions. So first we have to understand absence of a common evaluation framework. What is this? The Central Pay Commission function as a temporary body that reviews compensation across diverse civil, military, technical services without a standardized assessment mechanism. Second, that is, there is no universal benchmark that will evaluate the risk, responsibility, and technical expertise or career progression also. Consequently, if we see, the pay parity is often sought without defined criteria, leading to the perceptions of inequity and weakening institutional credibility. Second, the point is civil services versus the armed forces. That is, there we'll say the structural differences have always been ignored. First, if we see, the compensation framework of these sectors often overlook the fundamental differences between the civilians and the armed military careers. Armed forces personnel face higher operational risks, limited promotions opportunities due to a pyramidal hierarchy. You all know that what are the hierarchies, and it is different between for the military careers and the civilian careers. Pyramidal hierarchy and compulsory early retirement they need to take. And in contrast, civil servants generally enjoy longer careers till 60 years and broader promotion avenues. Direct comparison without objective criteria create dissatisfactions and distort these compensation decisions. Now, the third, that is the career progressions, and what it is highlighting, the career progression, experience and administrative efficiency. So here it has been mentioned over here, the career progressions, while the faster career progression may reflect changing governance needs, complex policy challenges still demand institutional memory and seasoned judgment. Now, we have to understand another one, that is additionally allowances means to compensate for the hardship, remoteness or risk, a lack of transparent and standardized assessment framework. Therefore, it all result in inconsistency across the services. The fourth one is non-functional upgradations. What it is? It's very important area. Equity and the accountability concerns are being highlighted. Non-functional upgradation allows officers to receive higher pay scales without assuming additional responsibilities. Introduced to address promotion bottlenecks, NFU has increasingly been criticized for weakening the connections between the responsibility, performance, and compensations. Third one, that is, it also raises concerns regarding the inter-service equity and accountability. What is the fifth one? That is the growing pension challenge. What it is highlighting? India currently operates multiple pension system, including traditional defined benefit schemes, the national pension system for newer employees, and at the same time, we also provide separate arrangements for the elected representatives. Now, what this creating the problem, that is, this fragmented structure creates concern about the fairness and transparency as well as the uniformity. Rising expenditure on the salaries, pensions, and interest payments is actually placing pressure on the public finances, and therefore it reducing resources available for the development spending. Now, not only this, apart from this, we are seeing growing pension liabilities raise concerns about the intergenerational equity by shifting this entire fiscal burden onto the future taxpayers. And lastly, that one challenge is left, that is the fragmentation across the government institutions. What it is highlighting, compensation mechanism for the executive, legislative, and judiciary operate independently. While such separation reflects constitutional requirements, but at the same time, it also creates inconsistency and reduces the transparency and liabilities at the same time. So therefore, the public compensation system must be not only financially sustainable but also understandable at the same time and justiciable to the citizens. Therefore, opaque and fragmented arrangements cannot can undermine this public trust and institutional accountability also. So, if we see global best practices throughout the world, what India can learn, what India can learn, what to be done from those international best practices. First one, that is United Kingdom. Independent in the United Kingdom, there is independent pay review bodies that provide annual evidence-based recommendations and that ensure regular salary revisions and fiscal stability. If we see Australia, there is remuneration tribunal. Here, over here, an independent body, which we all know that tribunal is an independent body and it determines compensation using the transparent criteria including responsibilities, market boundaries, the benchmarks, and the public interest. Now, if we see for Singapore, that is performance linked pay. Public sector salaries are linked to market benchmarks and performance, therefore promoting transparency, accountability, and talent retention. And lastly, that is New Zealand. It talks about pay transparency. Mandatory disclosure of the pay balance, pay bonds enhances the transparency, accountability, and citizen trust. So, if we inculcate all these things in our Indian cultures, what we can suggest for this as measures for these 8 central pay commissions or the existing framework that is still in being. First, see, it is asking about establishing a national compensation authority. If we replace the decadal CPC with a permanent independent body for continuous and transparent pay reviews. Second one, developing a common evaluation framework to assess compensation based on responsibility, it risk, technical complexity, and hardships, and as well as the career progressions. Third one, that is to ensure transparent civil military parity. It will therefore reduce the careers while determining this pay parity. It will recognize the structural differences between the civilian and the military careers, as well as through this we can determine their pay parity. Fourth one is the rationalized NFU and allowances. We have to link financial progressions with the accountability and performance and therefore standardize these allowances through a transparent hardship framework. Sixth one, that is strengthening the pension sustainability. How? Harmonize the pension system and ensure fiscal sustainability and intergenerational equity in compensation reforms. And the last one, that is respect federalism. We need to respect these portions, that is mention state autonomy while promoting a common framework based on fiscal discipline, transparency, and accountability. So overall, today's article, we have said, mentioned all these are the areas. Please put emphasize on the challenges and the way forward, as well as the global best practices. It will help you to enrich your answers in the mains examinations. So therefore, we are concluding this video with a short conclusion. Let's see what is the conclusion. The 8th Central Pay Commission should evolve from a periodic pay revision exercise into a framework that will ensure equity, transparency, accountability, and fiscal sustainability in the public compensation. Therefore, what we need, a fair and sustainable compensation system, therefore, is very much essential not only for the employee welfare, but also for the strengthening institutional credibility and public trust in governance. That is, we have to respect the federalism also. सो वी आर एंडिंग दिस वीडियो। इसके बाद आप लोग को मेंस डीप एनालिसिस का वीडियो मिलेगा, जहाँ पे मेंस का आज के टॉपिक के साथ द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर से डिस्कस किया जाएगा। उधर आपको मेंस का ओरिएंटेड एक क्वेश्चंस भी दिया जाएगा एंड प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस भी रहेगा अगर उसमें शामिल है तो। एंड उसके बाद आप लोग को प्रीलिम्स वाइड मिलेगा, जहाँ पे प्रीलिम्स एस्पेक्ट्स का टॉपिक आज द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर से डिस्कस किया जाएगा विद मॉडल क्वेश्चंस एज वेल एज प्रीवियस ईयर MCQ. Please watch those videos and visit our ISI's websites and download these articles, description articles. Thank you. All the best.